Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Doing Things Dan's Way. So, if you've seen my other videos, and there's probably a link up here if you want to take a look at it, I replaced the rear speakers in my Highlander here. And what I've noticed is that the doors themselves just seem really flimsy, and the overall sounds like it's a good speaker in a bad enclosure. Taking a raw speaker and putting your hands behind it makes a big difference in the sound. So today what I'm going to try doing is I've bought a box. Got this off of Amazon. We'll have a link in the description below. This is 120 mil thick material. It's butyl tape in basically a large sheet form, and it comes with this quilted like design on it. And what the quilting does is you take a metal roller, and when you're applying it, you're supposed to put enough pressure to make the quilting go away. And that's how you know that every square inch has been pushed up against the body of the truck. What you don't want to do is have any air pockets, because condensation can form behind there, and that theoretically could create rust. So if you're in a rust belt part of the country or freeze-thaw cycles, here in San Diego we don't have any of these issues, so that's great. But anyway, the goal here today is to basically make the door heavier so that it acts as a bigger, stronger, and more sturdy enclosure for the speaker. The other thing it's going to do is I've noticed that when you slam the doors of this truck, the whole thing sounds like a hollow oil can, like a cheap car, quite honestly. My Infinity is way better. You close the door and it's a nice solid thud. You can tell the doors are made of thick metal. These ones, you slam the door and everything just starts wobbling around on you. So the plan today is to very carefully remove this waterproofing plastic material. Probably use the heat gun on it and try that a little bit to see if that makes it a little bit easier to pull off. A little less stringy. We'll see, that may be worse. And then I'm gonna basically cut out sheets of this material to bulk up the back wall, the outside wall of the door with this material. And then because the left and right side back here are identical, I can do some left-right comparisons, both from a door slam perspective as well as just the tone of the speaker, and see how much of a difference it makes. As always, please like and subscribe. Subscriptions are huge to guys like me. Please click subscribe if you want to see more videos like this about the Highlander life. Hit subscribe below. Have you hit it yet? Have you? Have you? Come on, hit it. Thumbs up. So something you should know about me. I'm an engineer. I think like an engineer, which means to me what I want to do is learn how to do something, make it reproducible, find the best way of doing it. Really, it's the technique of it. And then once I have the technique down, then apply that to the rest of the thing that I'm doing. So in this case, step one, I'm going to try a couple different ways of removing this to find out which way works best, as opposed to doing a whole door one way and then maybe trying to do a whole door another way. So it's really all about finding the best technique first before doing a lot of the work. So I'm just going to remove a small section one way, another section with a different technique, and just kind of see what works best. So first off, I'm just going to try just a simple peel off. Okay, I mean, I can already see how much of it is staying on the door and how much of it's sticking to the plastic itself. That's not bad, honestly. A little bit of strings, and actually it's not too bad. It's sticky, but it's not wet, so it's not coming off on my fingers. So let me apply a little bit of heat right here and see what that does. Okay, so what that seemed to do is it made the material softer, and it made it stringier. Yeah, I feel like it kind of went the wrong way. Well, this is cold over here, and it's not all that different. So a little bit of a heat didn't really make all much of a difference. I'm gonna grab a couple ice cubes. I'm gonna freeze or just cool this next section and try that. So it may take a few moments to do something like this, but the goal is to see, okay, is there a technique that works substantially better? So by the time I do 4 doors, I've certainly got my time back, because what I've done has worked better. Okay, it definitely is harder and even stringier, actually. Look at that. Okay, well, okay, now I know. I'm just gonna say room temperature it seems fine. Hotter doesn't make it any better, and cold seems to make it a lot worse. So if your climate's colder than 50 degrees, maybe warm it up a little bit. But yeah, wow. When it's cold, it's pretty tough. And stringy. Okay, so here's a challenge. There's this pocket here with several electrical things. In fact, this one here is coming out of this joint, so I'm going to pop it. So just a little push-up button right here. Pop this out. They suggest making some kind of paper template up inside. So I'm going to cut out some rough sized pieces of paper and shove them up in there and run my fingers to the corner, because this material, like, you can't, like, it's super stiff. Like, you can bend it around, of course, but it's not like you can crinkle it in there and do like you would with paper to make a mold. And you want it to be as seamless as possible, but you know what, I'm probably just going to overlap the pieces up inside here a fair amount. I'm not going to worry about that much, but a lot of these shapes are going to be way too intricate around the handle and everything else. And it's mostly this center part here. You hear that? So that frequency, we'll be able to hear the difference between that on this side and on the other side, kind of before and after. And that low frequency, that should change when we do this. It should get substantially lower frequency. So that's the hypothesis. Let's see how it works out. Okay, let's see how well this stuff just cuts with scissors. Oh, beautiful. Super easy. Okay. Let's see how. So my bottom right corner I'm hitting. Okay, I just folded it. The challenge here is I won't be able to roll behind the crash bar, so I'm just going to have to crush the tar out of it to get it on there. That's what I had to do there, so I'm just going to cut that corner off. And let's go for it, see what happens. Yeah, not ridiculously sticky. I'm gonna leave the bottom half on just to have make it easier to get in and out here. Let me show you this angle, kind of see what I'm doing. You'll be able to see kind of what my hands are doing a little bit more, but also realize that you're going to see the back of my head an awful lot, so hopefully my head doesn't change the exposure of the camera. A lot of white going on back here. Kid yesterday asked me if I was a grandpa. Like, my kids are 20 and 21, so not quite yet. Yeah. So on Amazon, I bought this little roller. I could not find this 120 material with a roller, and you'll see on Amazon there's lots of people selling material and a roller as an accessory. I got this one here. I'll have a link in the description below. Seems nice enough. It's kind of ribbed. It's super simple though. So for, I think it was $9 or $12. They're making their money, that's for sure. But what we're supposed to do, as you can see, I've got the material in here. I haven't really completely stuck it down yet, so I can still pull it up and move it around. That's where I want to make sure I get the rib support that comes across here. I'm just going to go up and over it. That may not be the best idea, but it's just what I'm going to do. Because it'll just be that much thicker on there. But the rib that goes across actually kind of goes up in the air. Like here's the wall of the outside skin, and the rib kind of does this at the end. So I am going to cut it at that end. So I'm just going to work from the center and work my way out. Let's see how this does. Wow, I can see. Careful of these edges, it's just bonking into here. This is pretty sharp. So what I say is when you're done rolling it, you shouldn't see any of the quilting patterns. And I mean, you still see patterns, and this thing is ribbed, so got that going for it. But it definitely does confirm that you've pushed on every square inch. Any better? Okay, second sheet's in. Let's hear what it sounds like now. Oh yeah. It has much less, like, sustain, if you will. It's a much tighter sound. And again, I'm just using this pry tool because it has a nice flat hard surface, and I can get in there and I can just basically slide up against the edges of things. And you know, I'm not opposed to doing a second layer as well. Maybe just just a strip down the center here to bulk up the very center of the head of the drum. You're making it thicker and thicker and harder will make it even less and less able to wobble. So anyway, I'll keep going, but I have to go run an errand, so I will be back in a minute. And I'm back. That was about a 3-hour break, but turn the car around to get back under the tree here, get some shade, and get everything back up and running. So I'm gonna keep going over here now. Okay guys, check this out. This is the sound of the front door. Up here, nice and tight because it's close to the corner. Listen to this. It actually sounds like a kick drum. This is awesome. Okay, I'm really excited because this worked out a lot better than I thought. Can't wait to hear, actually can't wait to hear the front speakers, which have a lot more low end in them, with a door that doesn't sound like that. It's gonna be way tighter bass, because right now the bass is so sloppy on this thing. That's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna put the door back together again and get the speaker back in and do an A/B test between the two sides to see how much the sound has actually changed to the speaker. I don't know. I don't think I'll be as amazed as I am in this sound, or the difference, and the sound of the door shutting. Yeah, let's go listen to the other side. So instead of using electrical tape, just standard electrical tape, I really like using this. This is a fabric version of electric tape. It's meant for high temperatures. I'll put a link in the description below. It doesn't tear real well. You really have to cut it, but it's designed for high temperatures. So unlike normal electric tape, when it gets warm, it starts to kind of unravel on you and get sticky and gross. This stuff's designed to wrap this kind of wire even under the engine, in the engine compartment itself, so it'll handle the temperatures inside the door without unraveling or getting sticky. But what I found is I have to cut it. It's because of the fabric, you can't just tear through it. Okay, now that we have the door all put back together again, the seal back on, with all the sound deadening in place, what we're going to do is get the door back in here. We have to reconnect these first. We have to pass this guy through the handle, and that's about it. We hook them on, pass these things through, and have this engaged, and just snap all the pieces in, and then we have the 3 screws, and that's it. Hey guys, here at the edit desk, I'm sad to say that microphone did not pick up the low end difference between the left and the right side. And it's one of those things where if you weren't paying attention, you probably wouldn't hear a drastic difference, in all honesty. I'm a sound guy. I can hear the low end and think about what it's sounding like, and I would describe the low end as tighter, the low end is punchier, and short of having a better microphone and having a subwoofer to actually listen to it, because you listen to the sound of a kick, I would just say that the door, the quality is there. It's not like night and day. I won't say that the changing the way the door feels or what have you is really changing it. I will say though that the door feels more solid. It's just remarkable, like touching it. It's just the difference between an oil can and a nice stiff. It almost sounds plastic. The metal literally sounds like now it's made of thick plastic material. It has that low of a thud to it versus the metal side. So anyway, the next video you'll see in the series, maybe I'll have a link to it up here, is how to do the front doors, because those are the ones that made the most difference of all. Well guys, I hope this has been helpful. That isn't too hard to put back together again, obviously. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. I've got other videos, you can see a couple here. And yeah, until next time guys, have fun with it and be blessed. Famous last words. More piece of snap in right here.